What's going on, everybody? It is Dan here, and I am back with our PDPL Finals for the season. Apologies for the delay. My first recording and upload got corrupted a bit, so I think I've got it figured out this time, so hopefully this should be up at a reasonable point in time. Also want to give a special shout out to Charles and Ed, who the past PDPL and PDCL seasons have really taken on a lot of the work from me. No, I haven't been as great at running this season as I have been in the past because of work and life issues, so thank you guys so much. But now we are getting into it with Snoot versus Charles in our finals. Snoot sneaking into the playoffs as the 6th seed, barely getting in on tiebreakers against me, and then Charles, who's had a fairly dominant season throughout. So this is going to be quite the matchup. First thing right away is no item on the Thunderous. You think that almost has to be acrobatics. He's brought all his good stuff. Arcanine looks really good into a lot of Charles's team. But the Iron Bundle could be an issue for Snoot. It is going to be faster than anything on the field for him. So let's go ahead and get on into this battle. Charles has brought his Core 6. It's really weird to say that Clodsire is part of his Core 6, but that has come quite a lot for him this season as we are getting into it. First off, I think it's about a tie on the matchup of the trainer cards there. And then we have the Urshifu Magmar lead for Charles, where Snoot is going to lead with the Thunderous and the Iron Treads. First thing I'm thinking here is that Thunderous, if this is the Acrobatics set, is going to be threatening that Urshifu with an Acrobatics almost right away. We see that it is Acrobatics. It does have Prankster for Scary Face, Leer, and Electric Terrain, so a lot of options there. And then the Iron Treads probably isn't going to kill the Magmar, but it will do a lot of damage. Now, if the Magmar redirects the Acrobatics, that double up probably has the potential to kill, but the Urshifu should at least threaten the KO onto this Iron Treads unless it Terras. So we do see that we are getting a attempted double up here with the Life Orb Earthquake next to the flying Pokemon, and then the Acrobatics coming on in. This looks like a Discquake lead, but it is not quite a Discquake lead. We're getting Terra right away out of the Magmar as a defensive Terra. It is getting the Grass type to be resistant to the ground type moves. However, if it redirects this Acrobatics, it's going to be in for a bit of a bad day. But no, the Wicked Blow comes out, and we do see that it is Scarf. It hits but does not kill the Thunderous. Acrobatics comes out, and it's not quite going to be a kill. It will be followed up with that Earthquake, which will knock it out. Magmar will resist it. So the Urshifu goes down, Magmar takes a little bit of damage. Is Magmar going to be able to finish off the Thunderous here, or is it just going to be going for a burn? And we see that the Heat Wave comes out, but it misses the Thunderous, so Iron Treads is going to survive unless it gets burned right here, even with that crit. So two big things of damage laid down on Snoot's side, but Snoot was able to pick up the Scarf Urshifu, which means that Thunderous and Iron Tread should be threatening a lot of speed for the rest of this set. Charles is going to have to be selecting another Pokemon here, and let's see what he's going to be going with. Rillaboom doesn't really make a huge amount of sense here now that Acrobatics has been revealed, and you can't redirect with that Magmar and its Terra Grass. So he might be in a bit of a rough spot here. If the Clodsire is in the back, he could definitely go with that Clodsire, which would at least survive. No, I guess even the Earthquake there is not good, but Iron Bundle is going to end up being his best choice here. Booster Speed will make it the fastest thing, except there is Prankster, which you don't necessarily expect there. It is threatening a double KO with just an Icy Wind here at this point. Prankster Scary Face plus Iron Treads attacking might be enough. A redirection might also be an issue from this Magmar, but this Iron Bundle with the speed, even if its damage outpoint isn't great, does threaten the double KO. And its stabs are super effective into everything that Snoot brought here, so Bundle's looking like it's in a really good position. He is considering that Scary Face play, which would drop that Iron Bundle speed to functionally -1, which should allow this Shreds to outspeed. But what is the Shreds going to do with that? It looks like he's looking for a high horsepower double up. So straight into the Protect of the Iron Bundle, we are going to see a Heat Wave that should be able to finish this off, as both attacks are going to hit into Protect. High Horsepower comes on out, does not hit. And we get the Heat Wave, which does double connect, and Snoot takes a 3-2 lead. Iron Bundle coming out against the Goodra and Arcanine in the back. Looks like it's going to be in good position. Arcanine will not get Intimidate down onto a physical attacker this game. Arcanine comes on out next to the Goodra. So this bundle is in a good position to start doing a lot of damage here. Freeze Dry would do a lot. Hydro Pump into the Arcanine threatens a lot. Snoot still does have Terra available, and it is Terra Water on that Arcanine. And the Goodra has Terra Flying. In this position, it's really tough. The Flare Blitz does obviously kill the Magmar most likely. And Terra Flying doesn't make it resist the Ice type, so he is not going to Terra into a resistance to this Iron Bundle. At this point, I think Charles is looking like he's in a good position this game. No resistances coming out from Snoot's side. As long as his Goodra can eat this, as long as this bundle can eat this Terra Blast, he will be in good position. However, this is a special Terra Blast, not a physical Terra Blast, and bundle is not specifically that bulky on that side of things. Helping Hand comes on out. Let's see if bundle's able to lay down here. And he does go for that Freeze Dry, which is not resisted by the Goodra. Does not pick it up because Goodra is incredibly bulky. Is this just going to be a clean double KO? Magmar absolutely goes down. And then this Goodra's Terra Blast is going to do a substantial amount of damage here. It might put it into extreme speed range as well if it doesn't kill. Terra Blast connects, and it goes down to 1 HP. This is natural sash, because we know that the bundle is booster speed, so that is not a sash. However, it is absolutely an extreme speed range, which means that he is absolutely pinned with that bundle, and Goodra has the ability to launch an attack into that last slot, which is going to be that Clodsire slot coming on out. If any Pokemon can pull this back, it's Clodsire, but he is not in a great position right now. They'll have to start getting the Toxic and Recoveries up, maybe get a Protect in with this bundle, try to make it survive. I think Charles' out here is to protect the bundle, start laying down Toxic damage, because I don't think he can kill the Goodra this turn with it. And then just hope that his Clodsire is built in such a way that it can't 2v1 with Toxic damage down. Extreme Speed gets the kill, no Protect out of this bundle. I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like the bundle needed to Protect there. To extend the turns where Clodsire wasn't taking 2 attacks. Because that Terra Blast is going to be doing a lot of damage. Yeah. This is going to be a tough one. Toxic damage comes on out. Leftovers healing, so it's going to be lefties, Protect, Recover, Toxic, and probably Earth Power. Goodra takes the first tick of Toxic damage. That second tick does not look like it's going to kill. Flare Blitz is lining up, and a Terra Blast as well. So I think he needs to go for the double Protect here. If he had gone Protect on bundle, he would probably only need the single Protect to guarantee the kill on the Goodra, and then it would come down to what this Clodsire can do against the Arcanine. Terra Blast comes on out, goes into Protect, but the second tick of Toxic damage probably doesn't kill. Gotta wait for after Leftovers healing. Charles' team is the king of the after battle effects, or the after turn effects. Next turn will definitely kill. The play here is probably go for a double Protect. So I don't think you want to eat another Terra Blast. He goes for the double Protect, he doesn't get it. This double up should be enough to kill, assuming this Arcanine isn't incredibly weak. Yes, and then that Terra Blast will easily clean up. Game number 1 here for Snoot to take the 1-0 lead going into game number 2. So let's go ahead and see if we can skip ahead to the team selection here. And we do see that the Valiant and Arcanine are being locked in. That Assault Vest Arcanine is probably actually not bad against the Sylveon and Bundle modes. It will definitely eat the attacks from that Magmar well as well. Thundurus is getting left behind, as well as the Raichu. But this Valiant is like the ultimate draft league Pokemon. Its stats are pretty good across the board, and it's got every move, like Omni coverage, Omni support. It is something you can build a lot with, and Snoot has done a great job with it this season to successfully build in a bunch of different ways with it. We are getting the Magmar and the Urshifu out against the Valiant and the Arcanine. So no change from Charles despite that game 1 loss. Snoot is able to get the drop on the Urshifu, and this Terra Water Terra Blast coming out of this AV Arcanine after a coaching looks like it'll be enough to kill this Magmar because the Urshifu is going Terra Ghost. See, this is interesting because it's Wicked Blow, so this isn't a great defensive Terra from this Arcanine. This Terra Water is an offensive Terra. And even with the defense boost, it'll crit through it, assuming he's not attacking the Valiant, and it doesn't have a lot to hit the Valiant. So let's see, we're getting a Helping Hand. Are we just going to get Helping Hand Wicked Blow here to crit through the attack drop? We are, and it's just going to pick up a clean one-hit knockout here. After Helping Hand with the Choice Scarf. Coaching doesn't go into anything, so this is a great position for Charles here. In comes the Treads, but Charles is just in a pretty commanding position to just keep clicking Wicked Blow into that side. And Snoot's just going to keep going for the coaching play and hope that it's enough here. Gotta love the Scarlet and Violet cutscenes. Sometimes every once in a while you just get a black screen like that. So if I'm in Snoot's position, the out I'm looking for here is figuring out a way to kill this Scarf Urshifu. Because it's not going to be able to touch the Valiant with the Wicked Blow. And now we know that it is only one hit away from killing that slot as well with the Treads. EQ comes on out. I don't think a +1 Life Orb EQ is going to be enough to kill this Urshifu here. And it is not nearly enough. And the Valiant survives as well, which means it is Terra Ghost Urshifu now. This Shadow Sneak might be able to pick it up. If this Shadow Sneak picks it up, and then the high horsepower goes into the Magmar, then Snoot could turn this one around here. But Shadow Sneak will need to pick up. Urshifu is not at -1 defense. Shadow Sneak is not the most powerful move, but it is super effective now. Otherwise, this Magmar switches out. Bundle comes on in. Bundle is going to eat a +1 high horsepower. It's not going to like that. Shadow Sneak comes on in, and it does not pick up the KO. So the Urshifu is going to be able to take out this Treads, and it seems like it's probably just in good position to clean up this game at this point. Because he can just start hitting into this Goodra. Well, no, because he's still got Shadow Sneak pressure. Shadow Sneak probably kills at this point. But it's going to be a 3v2 with this bundle being able to pick up that Valiant if it wants this turn. Goodra can't kill it. We know that it can't kill it with Terra Blast, and nothing else hits as hard. Draco Meteor does hit harder, but at -2, I don't know what this Goodra is going to be doing here. Urshifu switches out to preserve itself. In comes the Magmar again. Shadow Sneak is not going to do a lot to this Magmar. You can assume that it's Violite, and that is pittance of damage. Freeze Dry comes on out. That should be enough to pick up the Valiant, and Charles looks like he is in good position this game. Draco Meteor is going to come on down into the bundle, but there's nothing that can switch out. Crit didn't matter, but that's cool. And Charles should be cleaning up this game pretty comfortably now. Urshifu can come on out and just start Wicked Blowing. Magmar can redirect the Draco Meteors because this Goodra is locked in. And there's nothing really that can happen here that's bad. So it should just be a simple follow me, Wicked Blow, follow me, Wicked Blow. Goodra would need to crit like 3 times in a row for this not to matter and survive 2 of those, which he will not. Draco does not crit. That is a lot of damage, though. -2. Obviously, specs damage. Charles should have that locked in by now. And then this Wicked Blow is just gonna absolutely polish this off. Maybe he doesn't, because he went for the follow me to ensure no priority attack. And down goes Goodra, and we're going into a Game 3 for PDPL Finals. We're getting the Valiant and Treads lock with the Arcanine and Goodra in the back, so no Thunderous lead again. And then no Electric Terrain Surge Surfer either. Charles is probably thinking about leading the same thing here again. It does seem really good. Obviously, he has the fastest Pokemon on the field with that Urshifu, and when Urshifu is the fastest Pokemon on the field, it's really tough, especially when the resistance is up front and not a threat to switch in. Snoot just can't let himself get beaten off turn 1 again this game. So let's see what happens here. We do have that Urshifu Magmar 3 games in a row. It's just a solid lead. It's just going to do a lot of damage. Valiant and Treads come on out. Urshifu, there's a chance that he doesn't want to. Oh, he's going to go for the Terra Fairy and the Wide Guard to make sure the Heat Wave doesn't come on in. This makes a lot of sense. Terra Fairy is going to resist this Urshifu's Wicked Blow. Wide Guard is going to make sure the Valiant doesn't take any damage, stop any Heat Waves, and then it's just going to get an Earthquake off. This is a really smart play here to stop a lot of what we're thinking is going to happen. Obviously, if this Magmar has Wisp, it becomes a bit more of an issue, but I think we've seen Protect, Heat Wave, Helping Hand, and Follow Me, so we know that it doesn't have Wisp at this point. Urshifu's going to lock in. If it locks into Wicked Blow, then it locks in a rough position. And then Follow Me doesn't matter. This kind of completely neutralizes the Magmar. Wide Guard comes on out. No Terras from Charles. No Terras from Charles. He was just weak to a... Nope, he was U-turning. He was not weak to a close combat there. U-turn comes on out. So this is probably a Heat Wave from the Magmar, which is going to go straight into the Wide Guard. He's got to just pick something to eat an Earthquake here. And it's Rillaboom, which will cut Earthquake damage in half. This makes a lot of sense. Rillaboom's first appearance, and it could not come at a better time for Charles. Earthquake damage is not going to be super impressive with grassy terrain on the field. Yeah, that does nothing to Rillaboom. And that was a crit on the Magmar too. Magmar does go for Heat Wave, it is also going to hit the Wide Guard. But now he's got Fake Out Pressure, he's got Helping Hand, Wood Hammer pressure here because there's not really anything you can do to kill this Rillaboom at this point. There is a world where setting up the Iron Treads with coaching makes a lot of sense here. And then just trying to take out... Well, you can take out the Magmar first and then try to just build the raid boss because Wicked Blow can't break through it at this point. And then with Arcanine in the back, getting a... Yeah, no, this makes a lot of sense. Coaching comes through with Covert Cloak. Arcanine in the back, you can take the Rillaboom to -1, and the Urshifu can't really Wicked Blow through it because it is now into a Fairy type. Snoot is now in a very good position here because the damage potential of this Urshifu has been completely neutered with the Valiant and Treads combo. And he's going to need some damage out of this Rillaboom to really offset this. Bundle comes on out. I don't know what Bundle is going to be able to do here. It is going to be the fastest thing on the field. but it is not in a position where I would want to be this bundle. It is going to be weak to this high horsepower. Close combat also threatens it. A double up into Valiant obviously should kill it with a Grassy Glide and an Icy or Freeze Drop before it goes down, but then you just let this +1 treads just start doing damage to your team. Iron Head is interesting instead of high horsepower if you believe it's going to go. Oh, and we get the Hydro Pump miss on the Iron Treads. The close combat is going to take out this bundle right here, and that makes sense. So the Iron Head will do more damage into the Rillaboom than the high horsepower does. Bundle goes down without having done any damage. Urshifu is the only thing left in the back. It's going to have to lock into something. Iron Head is going to deal a chunk to this Rillaboom. Rillaboom is in a bad position. Rillaboom flinches. I think this game is probably Snoot's all locked up at this point. I don't really see anything that this Urshifu can do to offset just the overwhelming position that this Iron Treads has put itself in. Clearly, Iron Treads is the best Pokemon in draft and was not a mistake to bring to Atlanta for Charles and I, because we both brought Iron Treads to Atlanta. So it looks like we're just going to be wrapping up the season here. The Urshifu is going to come out unless it has something like an Iron Head right here, and even then this Arcanine is going to be switching in such a good position. He sort of has to lock into something that isn't Wicked Blow to have a chance, and if he locks into something that isn't Wicked Blow, then Arcanine is going to just absolutely destroy this team. So the Arcanine's going to switch in, the Iron Head is going to take out the Rillaboom, and then it's just going to be a 3 or 4v1 against the Urshifu. And Urshifu with Scarf can do a lot of things, but it can't hit 2 Pokemon at the same time, and without crits at -1, its damage potential is going to be a lot lower than we are typically used to seeing from it. I don't think that there's an out here for Charles unless Snoot makes a major mistake. Arcanine's going to come in, everything's attacks going to get lowered. I don't know what combination of natural crits we'd have to see. I guess a natural crit Iron Head would be the start, but then I don't know how you hit the Arcanine. It is going to become Terra Ghost to not go down to a Fairy type attack. But there was no Fairy type attack coming. See, what attack is it going to lock into? Grassy Glide. Is this double up with an Iron Head? No, it is going to go for the Wicked Blow. That was going to be his best shot if that Treads went down, but it does not. Iron Head's going to take up the Rillaboom. He's locked into a Wicked Blow against a Treads and a Valiant. Wicked Blow might actually kill the Treads here, but Arcanine is just going to be in a good position to just start dealing damage to this Urshifu. There's just not a lot that Urshifu can effectively do here. Wicked Blow should Wicked Blow should knock out the Treads here, I believe. But it's still too much for this Urshifu to get through without double target moves, because I don't think he gets the one-hit knockout on anything. Charles forfeits out, and we will congratulate Snoot as the PDPL champion this season. Sneaking into the playoffs and then just having a great run through the playoffs. So congratulations Snoot, congratulations Charles for making the finals this year. Thanks everybody for showing up this season. And yeah, I look forward to getting the next season set up at some point, hopefully when my life has calmed down a little bit. But I appreciate all of you guys for playing through the season, making it another great season, making it another great event, and proving once again that this is probably the strongest draft league in the world. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.